Here he is, everybody, John Saxon.
Over the course of 100 plus years of cinema, a selection of a group of filmmakers stand out for their personal vision. From Fritz Lang to Frank Capra, from John Ford to George Lucas, Steven Spielberg and Guillermo del Toro. Their genius has helped guide over a century's worth of creative imagination. One director who is just starting to get his due is an Italian filmmaker, Mario Bava. Bava was a master of terror, whose most famous works include Black Sunday, Lisa and the Devil, and the frightening Black Sabbath, starring Boris Karloff. I had the pleasure of working with Mario Bava. The film work of Mario Bava is alive today, and much of this is due to the efforts of writer Tim Lucas. Tim has an insatiable appetite for film and has centered his devotion of film to the life of Mario Bava. Almost to the point of fanatic obsession, Tim has spent over 20 years of his life researching the complete life and works of the Italian maestro. That dedication has resulted in one of the most astounding books ever written in the life of a filmmaker. The book, Mario Bava, All the Colors of Dark, was released last year after several years of meticulous research. The book is a wondrous delight, over 12 pounds, and encompassing 1,100 pages of text and photos, giving us the complete biography of the life of this director. The project couldn't have come to fruition without the wonderful support of his wife, Donna Lucas, who worked diligently on designing the book and helping make sure that the biographical information was accurate. The book was originally intended to be published in 2003, but as more facts flowed in, the final result did not come to fruition until 2007. While preparing the book for publication, both Tim and Donna continued working on their own magazine, Video Watchdog, which is highly respected by aficionados around the world. Now, in any profession, this type of dedication to one subject is inspiring. For Tim Lucas, this has turned out to be the fulfilled lifelong dream of an epic proportion. The devotion that Tim has put in creating this literary masterpiece may probably never be equaled. And for this reason, we are happy to honor both Tim and Donna Lucas, the prestigious Special Achievement Award. Please welcome Tim and Donna Lucas.
Thank you all very much. This is my wife, Donna, who John introduced. Yesterday was our 33-year, 6-month anniversary.
We give each other an anniversary every month.
Right. I don't mention that just to sort of cheaply milk your applause. Yes, I do. But I actually mean that as a prelude, because she was with me every day of this journey. It wasn't just 20 years, it was 32 years. I began in April of 1975, and over the course of that time, Donna saved the book from hard drive crashes, and she pulled me out of depressions when I despaired of ever finishing the book, and she finally turned my words into a book whose beauty I could never have imagined. My name is on the book alone, but Mario Bava, All the Colors of the Dark, is our special achievement. For those few of you who don't know, Mario Bava was actually the father of Italian horror and science fiction cinema, a director who often served as his own cameraman and special effects designer. He made the first Italian science fiction film, The Day the Sky Exploded, in 1958, and his official directorial debut, the horror classic Black Sunday, made Barbara Steele the first queen of horror. His thriller, The Girl Who Knew Too Much, starring our friend John Saxon, marked the origin of the Italian thriller known as the Giallo, and his Black Sabbath allowed Boris Karloff to give his most chilling performance of his final decade. Bava's thrillers Blood and Black Lace and Bay of Blood inspired the body count horror trends of the 1980s and 90s, and the long-haired ghost child of his masterpiece, Kill Baby Kill, is the template for many of the ideas found in the J-horror films of recent years. In 1965, he made Planet of the Vampires, a film which was very inspirational to Ridley Scott's Alien. Bava preferred to work under the radar with low budgets because that's where he found the freedom to express himself in movies that were supposed to be forgotten about a week after they played. And that's what's so amazing about Bava, the fact that he put so much of himself, so much of his craft into work that was designed not to last, but it has by those very virtues. People ask me how I happened to choose Mario Bava as a subject for biography, and I believe that he chose me. Bava was a very shy man, uncomfortable with compliments, who discouraged any attempt to take his films seriously. And so when the fates decreed that his life and work warranted a book, I believe he told the fates, okay, but give the job to that schlub in Ohio. You know, the one who never travels, the one who doesn't speak Italian. But what Mario didn't know is that I'm a stubborn guy. Writing the book was a very hard uphill battle, but whenever I felt myself in doubt, I would remind myself of those 9 talismanic words spoken by Nestor Paiva in the classic Universal film Creature from the Black Lagoon. It is impossible, but I, Lucas, will do it. When I started this book in 1975, I was 18 years old. At the time, Bava's name was known only to a select group of film buffs, and all the proposals I sent to publishing companies were rejected. When I finished the book in 2007, I was 50, and Mario Bava was being praised by the world's hottest directors as possibly the most influential horror film director of all time. And different book companies were suddenly writing to me asking to publish the Bava book. By then, we were in a position to publish it ourselves, thanks to a community of cinephiles and fans brought together by our monthly magazine, Video Watchdog.
And because of all these fans, and because of our wonderful team of restorationists, we were able to put this book together. We could not have done it just by ourselves. This was a big group effort. Tim, of course, wrote everything. I want to thank my good friend Simonita Perezza Youth, who worked diligently to restore some of the photographs. Matthew Bradshaw also was working quite heavily on the Black Sunday chapter. He's a Photoshop specialist. But most important of all, Charlie Largent, who did most of the huge, big spreads in the book. These were terribly hard to do, photographing posters that you hang up and try to digitize out all the folds, piece them all together, and make them look pristine again. And Charlie did a wonderful job. And last but not least, everyone who was interested in Bava could not wait for this book to come out. They put their money down, and they are our special patrons. Their names are listed in the back of the Bava book, and because of their faith in us and their contribution to the Bava book, the book was able to be published. I don't know how a two-person publishing team could do this on their own unless they're independently wealthy. This was an entire community project, and we are so grateful to all those people who stayed with us for years until this book saw the light of day.
I would also like to thank Lamberto Bava and his family for their trust, friendship, and patience for more than 3 decades, and the more than 100 people interviewed for the book, including the wonderful John Saxon and Alfredo Leone, who is also here this evening. Alfredo not only produced some of Bava's best films, he's done more than anyone to keep Bava's work available for theatrical screenings and home video. And finally, we want to thank Robert Holguin and the Academy of Science Fiction, Horror, and Fantasy Films for recognizing our efforts. This beautiful award is for special achievement, and we believe that our book's most special achievement, besides being literally longer than War and Peace, is that it was made possible entirely through the interest and support of the fan community. The fans of horror, science fiction, and fantasy films are the most obsessive, dedicated fans in the world. That's why we were able to spend 32 years on this project, and why some of our patrons were willing to pay $100 in advance for a book that they wouldn't receive for 7 or 8 years. Collectively, we willed this book into existence. And if our book represents anything, it's that the impossible really is possible, as long as you stick to your guns and refuse to surrender your dreams. Thank you very much.